Here are the top 5 best goal-scoring teams since 1990. Here's the criteria. It will not simply be based off of which team scored the most goals, as how difficult or easy it is to score depends on the season. As you can see by the above graph, the blue line represents the average goals for per game per team, and the orange dots are the top 5 highest scoring teams, all well above league average. At number 5, we have the 93-94 Red Wings, where they scored exactly 1 goal per game more than the league average. The Wings would go on to win multiple cups years later, but in 94 they actually lost in the first round to the Sharks in what was one of the biggest upsets in NHL history. The 2013 Penguins were a scoring machine with Prime Crosby and Malkin, as well as deadline acquisitions like Jerome McGinley and Jussi Jokinen. Despite scoring so much, they were actually held to just 2 goals in the Eastern Conference Finals when they got swept by the Bruins. Speaking of sweeps, the third highest scoring team is the 18-19 Lightning. The Lightning scored almost an entire goal above average per game, and they tied the 96 Red Wings for most wins in a season at the time, only to be swept by the Blue Jackets in the first round in what was arguably the greatest upset in NHL history. Before calculating the numbers, I actually thought the 95-96 Penguins were going to be first. They scored 1.27 more goals per game than league average, which is by far the most in this category. But since scoring was pretty high in the 95-96 season, their Z-score is lower than the team at number 1. But with that said, the 95-96 Penguins basically had 2 first lines with the likes of Lemieux, Jágr, Francis, Nedved, and Sandstrom making up most of the top 6. The Penguins were 1 win away from the finals, but were defeated by the Florida Panthers. Finally, we have the 2009-2010 Capitals, who had the highest Z-score by a landslide. To put it into perspective, if someone wanted to find a metric with 5,000 participants, a Z-score of 3.57 would literally be the top 1 in 5,000. Scoring almost 4 goals per game in a season where league average scoring was less than 3 goals is absolutely insane. The offense was driven by the trio of Semin, Backstrom, and Ovechkin, but they also had depth contributors too. But yet another high-scoring team was victim to a first-round upset. The first-place Capitals were defeated by the 8th-seeded Canadiens, a team with 101 fewer goals and 33 fewer points in the standings. Were you surprised by any of the teams on this list? As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments.